right? And we like forget passwords, we like our phones hacked by NFC, and do we notice? No, we don't notice, right? So it's you know, it's very, very hard. Just humans are not good at that, and we don't have technology.
Well, I really think that I mean, it's the most fundamental thing in the security world is convenience versus security. And things that are more convenient tend to be less secure and vice versa. And in order to do security right, whatever that means, you're going to end up with a really inconvenient solution. And a lot of people favor convenience because their life is too short, or they want to go watch the next episode of Biggest Loser or whatever. They choose the convenience aspect of it over the security. And I think it's part of our job as developers and security analysts to find that compromise, that balance where we can provide security solutions that are convenient enough that people find it worth doing it. And we don't have the right answer because
there's an array of answers.
There's an array of answers, and it'll be a free market that kind of decides. And of course, I'm biased. I believe that Armory implements a fantastic answer to that question, but and it has a lot of users, but it's still an open question of what are people willing to do to achieve that security.
It's a good point. I think the greatest thing that Bitcoin ever did, there are many great things I think, but that they called it a wallet. You don't store all your cash in just a wallet in your back pocket. I have a bank account. Some of my money is in the cash in my wallet, and some of my money is in my bank account. Most of my money is in my bank account. So the distribution of risk is a thing that also is in our genetic history. We have, this is what I need for the next 12 hours, and this is what I need for the next 12 years. And making, one of the big things that I want to advise as we work on this problem, and it is an ongoing experiment, is we actually do need to make some decisions. We do need to basically say, these are best practices. And not like best practices like the rest of the world. It's like, no, this is what you should do. One real problem that we have in cryptography is no one wants to make decisions. No one wants to say, this is the algorithm you should use, this is the function you should use, use this code. So it's, politics, and we need to be nice, screw that. We're the nerds, we need to decide, this is this version of our advice. It's okay, I don't care if it sounds egomaniacal. Like, we sometimes give people too many options.
I think that one of the things that we've been talking about as well in terms of security is that probably as a community we should start defining standards. In the same way that the payment card industry defined their data security standards, it's just a guide for different levels of risk. Because the PCI DSS tells you the more transactions you have with money or the more credit card numbers you process, then the higher the bar should be. And I think something of the kind would be used.
So I would say
it would be interesting for us to.
When we launched the foundation, I had like 4 goals. So it was pay gathering, launch a conference, a smaller conference than I'm happy to do it. And then number 3 was opt-in standards and certifications. And so we're kind of like, okay, the first 8 months went great. Like this is amazing. I'm just super excited about it. We're able to hire more people, and that's great. There's so many good things. But I agree, and I actually think opt-in is very important. But I think we do need some guidelines, and I would like to see.
Oh, I was just going to say that I believe that a lot of users are capable or comfortable with the risk associated with keeping and spending money in your wallet, in your phone, and worst case you lose $50. Whereas most users will never store their life savings on their own, except for the most technically savvy ones. And that in order for Bitcoin to really be able to be held long-term in vast quantities, life-changing quantities, we probably will need solutions such as insured storage. Just like banks are FDIC insured. There has to be third parties that are going to do that heavy lifting, the heavy security lifting. And I don't think that can happen without standards. What insurance company wants to just say, okay, we'll insure this, but we have no idea whether your security is up to par. What's satisfactory there? And that's something that actually I hope I can contribute to in defining that.
That would be good. And actually, we met, I met a couple days ago through the convention, to someone who's, he helped with PCI, the original PCI Foundation, right? So, works at a large payments company now, and he kind of seemed like he threw in as much time as we wanted him to helping with this. So there is, like, he pitched that as a community, we need to start engaging with international standards bodies. Those exist. There's some of information, and I think that, that's just an example of Bitcoin growing up. Like, if we can have you guys volunteer to help us work with these groups and hammer out standards and systems, and that would please take as much of your time as you want to give to do that. I mean, that would be very, very helpful. And I like to see just like stamps, like, this is a silver tier, creditor certified things, like, you should feel safe spending $500 here, but more than that, you might think about it, or, however it goes. I think that's great.
Yeah, I just want to say how weird it is to be on a panel talking about a science fiction cryptocurrency. This is 4 years, and basically the consensus is we need more banks. Just like, it's very strange feeling. I'm not saying it's wrong, just go.
I would like to say 2 years ago, I basically said, Bitcoin is going to evolve towards banks.
Yeah.
And it turns out my reasoning was incorrect. Like, I reversed the reasoning. Bitcoin is a weird system where every transaction in the world has to be transmitted to everyone and stored for all time. It doesn't scale. At some point, that fails miserably. But the mistake that I made 2 years ago was forgetting storage has gotten cheap and we have tons of bandwidth. Miami is eventually going to be erased from the planet by a Cat 5 hurricane. That doesn't mean we don't live in Miami. So I kind of have that mindset about Bitcoin. Like, there's some scalability issues that are hilariously going to fail and are going to require a migration to a banking model. But not yet.
Can I ask the last question before we